Hi all, welcome back to another video. Today it's my last back shift at work for this week. However, I do have some more back shifts to do because next week's my spare week, and unfortunately one of the guys is on holiday, so I'm having to do a couple of his shifts. But hey ho, I don't mind the back shift. At least you get a long lie in the morning, which is a Brucey bonus. But the only thing is you're back home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, so you just got to wait up. So what's been happening? Well, I haven't done a vlog to work for quite a while, so I just thought I would stick the GoPro on the helmet and just see what's changed since I last recorded myself going into work. There has been quite a few changes. I've got a new set of roadworks to contend with, just a couple of miles up the road here, because they're building a new housing estate. And the shithole known as Edinburgh, that hasn't really changed much. The roads are still shite, potholed and what have you. But apart from that, no, nothing's really changed. The traffic lights still hold on red for ridiculous amounts of time. The pedestrian green man crossing light still comes on when there's no pedestrians waiting to cross. Just the usual bollocks from the council. It's just, I think it's just a strategy to get the motorist off the road. You know, if they can piss them off as much as possible by buggering up the traffic light sequences, make them go to red when there's absolutely no traffic on the road to hold you up. Shutting streets off, putting pretty little plant pots on streets to block them off so you can't go up them. Then if you do want to go up them, you can only go up them at certain times of the day. Basically it's just the preparation for the 15-minute cities, whereas in Edinburgh it's going to be the 20-minute neighbourhood, where the council want you to walk, wheel or cycle everywhere, which is not ideal for Edinburgh, because Edinburgh's built on 7 hills and yeah, it's quite hilly. Also the climate here in Scotland's not ideal for having to walk, wheel or cycle, especially in the winter. It can be very wet and very cold. So for the last 6-7 weeks, apart from the first 2 weeks in May, I have been taking the bike to work every single day except for yesterday, because as you can see on the road here, we have had rain, and yesterday, well last night, it rained very, very heavily. It came down that hard that the drains couldn't cope, so they were overflowing. But we really needed it. That's the first rain that we've really had in about 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, that was, for a change, the rain was most welcome, especially for the plants in the garden. So yeah, I've been taking the bike to work every single day except for yesterday, when obviously I knew what the forecast was going to be, so I just took the car. And most other guys at work, they done exactly the same thing. There was only one bike at work yesterday, and usually in this weather in the summer there's normally about 20 bikes or so in the car park, but yesterday there was only one. But I am pretty sure that boy would have finished before the downpour started. So the bike now, it's just over a year old now, and it's done just over 7,000 miles, and the bike's been absolutely perfect. I haven't had one single issue with the bike since new, and the more miles that go on it, the better the bike is riding. Now when I first got the bike, obviously it was brand new, everything was tight, and you could feel at certain speeds, you could feel a buzz through the handlebars and a buzz through the foot pegs. A few guys in the Facebook group that I'm a member of have spoke about this, and yeah, I did feel that up until about 3,500 miles. And I must admit, I think I really noticed it after about 4 that the buzzing was gone. That was when I was on the trip over in Europe, where I put just over 3,000 miles on the bike. I think the total mileage for that trip was 3,159 miles. And that was done in 12 days, and out of that 12 days it was probably about 6 days riding, if you add up all the days riding. So yeah, we put a fair bit of mileage on the bike, and there's absolutely no buzzing in the handlebars or the foot pegs anymore, which is absolutely fantastic. And the bike's so nice to ride. It's slackened up. It's just a pleasure to ride now. The buzzing in the handlebars, especially in my right hand, that used to tingle after rides, especially long rides. Now, no tingling whatsoever, which is good, because I have arthritis and white finger in my hands. So the tingling and vibration obviously wouldn't do it any favours. This is where it gets stupid coming into the city. The beauty with this in Edinburgh, as it stands, motorcycles can use the bus lanes, which is absolutely handy as hell at peak. It really is. Quick question: fuel. Is it more expensive in your cities than what it is in the outskirts? Now, I obviously live out of town. I live out in the country in a little town just to the west of Edinburgh, and historically the fuel's always been more expensive where I live, because it's out of town. But over the last year or so, fuel's been cheaper where I live in the outskirts compared to the city. Now, I don't know if it's the local city councils encouraging the fuel companies to keep the prices higher in the city to discourage people from using their petrol and diesel vehicles. I've no idea. That's just a thought that I've got, because historically, like I say, it's always been more expensive for fuel out of town than what it has been in town. So I could be completely wrong, like, but I think there's definitely something in it. And the further out of town you go, the cheaper it gets as well. So I know through in Lanarkshire the fuel's almost 10 pence a litre cheaper than what it is in West Lothian where I am. So I've no idea what it's all about, but anyway, just a thought. When it's 144.9 for a litre unleaded here in Edinburgh, and the dearest where I am, it's 143. How's this bus lane looking? Not too bad after this parked car. Not too bad. Oh, I got a cracking deal on a helmet a couple of weeks ago. I bought myself a Schuberth C4 modular helmet, a flip up. It was either 549 or 649, and it was in the sale, and I got a brand new C4 for £150 delivered. So that was from Helmet City, and I'm absolutely delighted with it. It's really quiet, and obviously it's a flip up, so handy for having a vape when you stop off somewhere without having to take your helmet off. So yeah, Moto Legends were selling the C4 for 200, so I don't know if they still are, but they certainly were a few weeks ago when I last checked. So it's a cracking helmet. The only thing I don't like about it is the comms. It's got built-in earphones, and I think it's got a built-in microphone as well, but you need to buy the comms separate, and that's about £250 or something, 260. And from the reviews that I've read, the comms aren't that great, so I won't be using their comms, so I'll just buy a second helmet kit for the cardo and fit that to it, which is a shame because Schuberth's comms setup's really good, because it's all buried inside the helmet. You know, your receiver and battery and all that, it's all buried inside the helmet, so you have nothing sticking out, so it's quite good in that respect. But quality wise I believe it's not that good, so I'm not going to muck about with it, and I'll just stick the second helmet kit. If I do add a second helmet kit to it, I might not, I might just use that helmet for when I'm on my own. But I do like to listen to music when I'm riding. It is quite handy, that. And also with the cardo I can make and receive calls as well. I tend not to make them, but I'll happily receive them. And obviously I'll need to get a GoPro mount for it. I'm actually thinking of the chin mounts, so I might buy one of them and stick that to the front of the helmet, because that chin mount company, they custom make mounts for the helmets, and it follows the contours, so it's guaranteed to stick well. So yeah, anyway, this is the city centre, the city centre, and I'm almost at work. There's Willie. How you doing, Will? Huh, fancy bumping into Willie, eh? Fancy that. So yeah, there's Edinburgh Castle up there. Cracking views when you go up to Edinburgh Castle. You can see all the way down to North Berwick area and over to Fife. Oh, flipping roads, man. Tell you, I rode all over Europe, and the roads were as smooth as butter, and then you come back to this shithole, and the roads are all rutted. They're actually a little bit better than what they normally are, but they've only been sticking temporary patches in them. And the camber on this road, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but the camber on this road's shocking. But then again, Edinburgh is built on 7 hills, and this is Newtown, the new town of Edinburgh. I like the new town's older than Old Town, if that makes sense. The Old Town in Edinburgh, up where the castle is, that was a slum, so they had to build the new town, and this is it. When you go down the likes of Stockbridge, Dean Village and all that, you would not think you're in a city, because it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But then again, if you want to stay there, you'll not get much change out of a million, if any. So I'll leave it here, turn this corner, give you a view of Fife over there in the distance, and I'll wrap it up here. So if you have made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.